As long as I remember, there has never been such an awareness and such a connection of what happens to the Palestinians as a settler colonial enterprise as now. In the sense, this has been very well understood and owned by the Palestinians and revendicated, denounced by the Palestinians. But Palestine is educating us, is awakening us about what colonialism is, has been, and continues to be. Like years ago, it was impossible to talk in public buildings with government officials and parliamentarians about apartheid without them starting to panic and see if there were phones or microphones around them. But in this part of the world, things have changed. And you say, yeah, but there was a genocide, and still, there are genocide deniers. So there is a greater awareness about the reality of what Israel is and does to the Palestinians. And I think that the ICC arrest warrants, in as much as they have exposed the limitations of it, again, they have prompted some states to show their true colors or the limitation of their morality, also the length of the chain they have. And at the same time, they have shown how much other member states are ready to sacrifice of their own interests, South Africa, first and foremost. But South Africa is not alone. There are other countries. Again, the Hague Group has 9, but there are other countries that are joining the initiative. I'm very inspired and excited about that. The advisory opinion denouncing the legality of the occupation in its totality is a seismic shift, but we need to use it. And we need to learn the lesson from the past, because in 2004, it was the ICJ advisory opinion that prompted the conscientization that then has led to the creation of the BDS movement, because it was very clear Israel couldn't build a wall inside the occupied Palestinian territory, accidentally annexing water basins and parts of the land which had been stolen to build settlements, etc., etc. So finally, the court had said it and nothing moved. And this is where you had the Palestinians and others coming together and starting the BDS. The BDS is very much about application of the international law. So now we need to make use of it, especially now that there is more preparedness to use strategic litigation. International law is a tool, but it's not a magic wand. We should see particularly human rights not as a tool of emancipation as they are today. They've been historically the result of emancipation. We didn't have human rights before, and we don't have human rights because all of a sudden the Netherlands or Italy or others have decided to write norms that will protect human beings. The codification of human rights is the result of struggles of people like us. And this is why we need to shake also the sense of comfort that we have, but we have international law, why doesn't it work? Because it's not a remote control. It's not a magic wand, it's not a remote control. So we need it, we have it, let's try to make it work. If it doesn't work, the multilateral system, which I accept, I'm critical of the colonial foundation of the international system, but let's open our eyes. Colonialism is 500 years of our history. It doesn't get out of our DNA like that. And do you think that international law is the only thing that is colonized or suffers colonization? Have you looked at medicines, architectures, economics, and the rest? So let's take this as an opportunity to understand and to use what we have as a tool and not as divine providence.